What's up? It's your host, Torry, and who is ready to be petty? Welcome back to another episode of RTBP. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm back with two very special guests today. Claire and Tess from Right Answers Mostly are here. Claire and Tess, how are you?
We're so excited to be back, Torry. We've been looking forward to this all month since we scheduled it.
Me too. Seriously, me too. This has been really fun, like already.
I know.
Even just chatting before the show, I'm like, this is
It was so
nice.
necessary. We needed a little catch up.
Exactly.
But we weren't talking shit.
Yeah.
Not yet.
What is new with Right Answers Mostly? What have you been covering lately? What should the listeners check out?
Well, we had our Britney episode. So if you guys don't know,
Yes.
we are a history and pop culture podcast where what you didn't learn in history class but wanted to. So of course we had to cover Britney Jean Spears.
Claire read the entire book in like 2 days and did an amazing, like one of our longest but most like intense, like emotional episodes we've ever done. It was so good.
Exactly. Like if I only studied that hard in school.
That's what I think all the about like, bro, I was like, I could have gone to like an Ivy League.
Same.
No, I think about that all the time because I look at the notes I take for some of my episodes and I'm like, why didn't I take these notes
I know.
in class?
And like the memory that I have about things in Bravo 10 seasons ago, I'm like, so my memory is there. It just didn't really compute.
I just didn't care.
I think that society is valuing this type of smart.
There it is, Claire.
And some might say it's more, even more valuable.
I would say that it's everything in one.
It's true. It's true.
No, that's so true. Okay, I love that. We're actually over on Patreon book clubbing Britney Spears' memoir tomorrow. So I'm very excited.
It's
If you need more, come on over. Tess just covered the history of the vibrator as well, which was so exciting.
Yes, it was fun. We have a sex, drugs, and rock and roll month. We're finishing off with Stevie Nicks, which will be released next week.
Yes.
Or the week of the
4th. December 4th. Yeah, Stevie Nicks.
Nice.
So yeah, we've been having a really fun year.
Yeah.
I love that. I just binged Daisy Jones and the Six.
What'd you think?
Okay, I have like thoughts because like some episodes I like really loved and then like the ending I hated so much.
It was such a love-hate.
So that's what Tess and I mainly hate watched it. We both read the book and just completely loved it. And we both love Riley Keough too.
Oh my God, she's amazing in this role.
Love. Yeah.
Everything else was much to be desired.
Yeah.
See what you thought of Camila Morrone's acting. It's very like polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is she in anything else that I would know? Because she wasn't familiar to me.
She's been in independent films. She's one called like Mickey and the Bear and Never Going Back, I think is one.
You know that she dated Leo for 5 years.
Yes. I think that's the only place that I know her from, which is sad, to be honest, on my part. But like, also, okay, so I think I didn't notice her acting because I hated her character so much that I just went over my head.
Unlikable on the show. In the book, she's like strong and you're like, fuck yeah. And then in the show, you're like, what are you even doing?
But also just like, they didn't have good chemistry, I don't think.
No, not at all.
He didn't have good chemistry with anyone. I'm going to say it.
I agree.
Yeah.
So much older than everybody.
So old.
He is?
I know.
He's older than the whole cast.
It was, I actually really didn't like it. Like, I don't know. I liked some of the concepts and I liked like the costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I also the music, because usually when I watch a music movie or TV show, like, you know, even back to High School Musical, I am listening to the soundtrack for like the rest of my life. And I like would rather die than listen to
I do have to say I actually love the soundtrack.
I like a lot of the songs. I understand what you're saying because it's supposed to be based on Fleetwood Mac and how there's like a line that's like, but I'm beating you to it, dude. And it's like Stevie would never. But I do think like Marcus Mumford did some of the music and I love his work.
The slower stuff I thought was really pretty. Like where Against One or whatever that song is.
Yeah. I am nervous for the adaptations of like Evelyn Hugo or Malibu Rising when they will come because I was pretty disappointed in this.
Well, just have Amazon not do it because Amazon quality, for some reason, they make it look like a student film.
It was bad.
I know.
All the money in literally the world.
It was bad. But you know, Stevie said that she loved it. She watched it twice. She said she felt like she was watching a ghost of herself. And I guess it's like, well, then my opinion doesn't matter at all if she loved it. But what?
Totally. Yeah, that's what triggered me. Thinking about Daisy Jones was like your Stevie Nicks episode because like that just like again you're right, like if she likes it that's great, but like man oh man I just couldn't. And like then her her best friend that she lived with, and then there was like 2 fully different shows happening.
What? There was no need for that.
No need. That's happening in the Gilded Age too.
I can't get past Miranda. Cynthia Nixon.
Oh my God. Same. Every single time she talks, I'm just like, okay,
I couldn't see
Miranda.
I can't see her as anything but.
I know. And I love period pieces, and the Gilded Age is so fascinating to me. So maybe I need to give it another shot, but
that is the curse of being on like a beloved show. You're just like 100%. Carrie's always going to, SJP's always going to be Carrie.
That's true.
Yeah, totally. Okay, let's get into some pop culture news today. We're going to talk about Winter House, which is the only Bravo show I'm currently watching, unfortunately. Yes, which is like, I know, a kind of like
no judgment, just curious as to why.
Yeah.
I think it's just like you gotta pick and choose because it is so much. And I think Potomac I will pick up, and New York.
Oh, I loved New York.
Original.
Or Legacy. Oh, Legacy's on so soon.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, Legacy I'll pick up, but at the current moment, just Winter House.
It's easy watching.
It's super fun, and same with the Kardashians. We're gonna talk about the Kardashians, which is another super easy listen, and then we'll talk about this question that came up on Reddit about old celebrity relationships that we can't stop thinking about.
I'm so excited. You know that we have been brainstorming.
Yes.
Good, me too. So Winter House this season, what are your thoughts? Like, the cast is completely different from seasons 1 and 2. Do you like the cast shakeup?
I will say I was nervous because I was like, why are we bringing in all these new shows? But Below Deck is one of the only Bravo shows I don't watch. And I think it's kind of funny because that's one of the only shows that non-Bravo people watch in the Bravo sphere.
Yes.
It's making me want to watch Below Deck. And so
please do.
Okay, so they're doing their job. It's working.
I agree. I like too that there are single people that are trying to have sex with each other.
Yes.
Finally, I know. Yeah, this was the first season of TV that I was like, wow, Kyle and Amanda are like in the like background, basically. Like they're not they're
getting a little
main characters.
Boring. Well, boring and sad. Like Kyle is making me sad. I'm just like, it's enough. You need to go to bed. Go to sleep.
You're 40. What is it? 41?
Not to age 41.
I mean, we all like to drink, but like it's just the same antics over and over from a 40-year-old man that like you can tell his wife is wanting him to grow up and he can't, and it's hard to watch.
It also doesn't feel genuine to me when I'm watching Kyle. I'm like, you know your lines, you know what the audience likes. They like to see you eating when you're drunk. They like to see you being crazy, but it doesn't feel genuine.
I agree.
No, it seems because he's like basically a producer. I feel like
I know
at this point. So yeah, I think that's totally fair. What do you guys think about the like delay in airing? I have been thinking about this a lot because like this filmed at Scandival, so March, like the first week of March. And I've been thinking about that so often because I'm kind of over it. Like every time Tom brings up Scandival, I'm like, okay, that was like 8 months ago or like a year ago or whatever. And it's the same with Summer House with Lindsay and Carl's breakup. We won't see that for like another 6 months. And by the time it airs, I'm going to be over it.
I know. Why aren't they like,
it needs to be quicker. Like they can't do it quicker. I don't understand why they're not. Every time they show the date on the screen, I always go to my phone photo album. I'm like, what was I doing that day? I love doing that.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh my God, same. It like scares me though, because I'm like, have I lost interest in Scandival? Like that shook my world. And then when I saw the teaser for like next season, I'm almost like, let's move on, which is scary in the Bravo world.
It is, but also like anything Tom Schwartz says, I'm really going to hate and be bored with anyways. So also the way he's talking about it and making it so all about himself and victimizing himself. I'm like,
the bar shales are really low. I'm like, your bar shales there have always been low.
Yeah, seriously. And also like it's your fault too. Like you knew about this and you didn't say anything.
Yeah, 100%. He's like, everyone's attacking me. It's like, well, you did have the information for like a full month.
And like, this is your best friend and you decided to go into business with him. So you're stupid.
And Ariana was one of your groomsmen. So yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, and Katie Floody, she's so, like, she has, I think, a good head on her shoulders, and the fact that the only person that she, like, sees potential in is Tom Schwartz, it's really embarrassing.
I truly believe she's never watched Vanderpump Rules, because
I don't think she has either. And when Aisha called it Scandoval or whatever,
yeah. Like, she's like, what is this?
I was like, you don't watch this.
Yeah. And like, I do think if Tom were a guy, I'm ashamed to say this, in a house and it was cold outside and you're just wanting some,
I have to admit that when she started falling for him on the past couple episodes, I saw myself in it.
Yeah.
In a sad way, that I was like, I was kind of into like that type for a while, and I could see it, and I could see the desire.
Because he plays the nice guy. This is always the thing that's even the most annoying about this, because he plays the nice guy and the unassuming guy, and they're like, oh, shucks. And it's so sinister deep down, though.
What do you guys think of like the whole Katie name thing? Like, do you think that's valid or no?
Like, yeah, would I want to date someone long term that had the same name as my ex-wife? Like, no, but like, it's like a seasonal hookup. Yeah. Like, I don't think it's not that deep. Like,
do you think he's scared of Katie or the public's perception of him doing that? Like,
and that's why he's pausing. Yeah,
I think both. He has no backbone at all and could like never stand up for himself. So even if he did really like her, I think he'd be like, but what are other people going to think about me?
Yeah, that's fair. He's probably super sensitive. Yeah,
I agree with you though, Torry. Like, I could do, like, it's just a hookup. Could you, your next serious relationship be the same name? That would be tough. But also,
but what if you were in love?
If you were in love, exactly. But then he's not in love.
Yes,
that's
true.
If
it's like the right person, you would just get over.
I'm in love with her. I think she's so sweet and beautiful, and like, great.
You should watch Below Deck Med.
I want to.
Yeah,
from season 1.
Yeah, because there's this character that Malia kind of like gets fired. Malia, the other girl, so I would watch. My favorite is Sailing Yacht, and then Mediterranean, and then Original, then Down Under, and then Adventure.
Oh my God, this is gonna ruin us, Claire.
I know.
I'm scared.
Into a hole.
That's the problem. Yeah,
okay,
but I would just start with Sailing Yacht and just
go off.
Yeah, because I think that's only 4 seasons. So.
Oh, honey, that's
nothing. That's an afternoon for us.
Exactly.
I actually am comforted by Malia, and it's funny because I know one of our friends, Alice, was like, well, she does something that's really bad. And I don't know what that is. And she's not the warmest person, and usually cold people I'm a little turned off by, except for Casey Musgraves, but like there's something that like attracts me to her.
Yeah, I think this show is really good for her and her image. Like, I think it's showing her in a different capacity, kind of like when Nick Viall went on Bachelor in Paradise.
Right.
And people, and like the more like unstructured type of show, I think is doing a lot of damage control for her like image.
Totally.
Yeah, and I always think it was more of a mistake instead of like an indicator of her as a person, because I really like Katie, and if they're best friends, I'm like, she can't be that bad.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and even though I will say like, you did kiss Corey. Like, I know you were saying I spit in his mouth, which is like almost worse, you know, but it's like,
no, that's like way more like,
just someone I liked putting their tongue essentially in their mouth and being like, it's not a kiss. I'm like, don't gaslight her.
Yeah. Like,
yes, it's like way more like sexual, I feel like.
Being like, I'm just going to jump up on you like one of the boys. It's like that
100%.
sort of, we hate that.
Now, Jordan's reaction, I feel like she must have just been wasted, because it seemed a little
completely.
Like, and she was embarrassed the next day.
Yeah.
She's like, sorry.
Yeah. I think she just, I've been there, like that's been me many a time. Yeah. It was cringy, but when you look at the like context, I think we've all been there.
Totally.
Oh, what do you think about Corey and Sam like still dating?
Dump him. Britney Spears shirt.
Yeah.
Dump him.
The way that he is acting, he's such a fool. And we talked about Corey the last time that we were on here, I think.
Yeah,
and
we did.
The pearl necklace.
Oh my God.
The fact that he does not realize that or he does, and he's so stupid or narcissistic that like your girlfriend is going to be watching this. Her family is going to be watching this.
That's like unforgivable to me.
It's
like so the fact that they're still together.
It's creepy.
Actually, I wonder if
well, they were at BravoCon.
Okay, so she must have seen. He must have told her, right? Like, by the way, I say some.
Yeah, and at BravoCon, she was like, technically, we weren't together.
Honey.
We were just, but I was like, okay, you met.
That summer.
You met in the summer. You first hooked up at like Labor Day or whatever. And then this was filmed the first week of March. or actually mid-March, I think, because it was, it was during when the reunion was filmed, which I think was 2 weeks post scandal.
And they're together. They're exclusive. Even if you haven't put a label on it.
Also, I truly think that like I could see him not doing this without cameras. I think he wants the fame. I think he like wants that feeling. Like I used to do this when I was growing up. When I go to summer camp, I'd always break up with my boyfriends at home, and I'd be like, "What do we have coming up?" You know. So I know that's what Corey was doing, but it's just, and also Sam, it's like it's okay to say like, I'm still mad at him for doing that, but we're working through it. Like, don't compromise your own feelings in that, you know?
It's a tough response to pretend to not be affected by it, because it's like, you are affected by it.
Also, Danielle was 100%. Not being a good friend to her because she was like...
None of them were.
She's my friend. And then she'd be encouraging other girls with Corey.
Well, Danielle is not a good person, and let's just say it.
Danielle wants to people please.
Yes.
So much.
I have been the biggest Danielle supporter, like listeners will know. And like it's getting like really hard to like back that up.
It's tough when these people turn.
Yeah.
100%. I'm like, hey, maybe I made a mistake because I just like she is so cringe on this season. Like her like drunk girl era, like hooking up with Alex and then being so mad at him for like pursuing other people, which like, I don't know. Like I would be mad too if I was in a house and then the guy I just hooked up with immediately goes and like tries to hook up with someone else. But like technically there's no claims.
No.
Nothing was made. Like
Amanda said it so well when she's like, after that long of a relationship, the first guy you hook up with, you want them to be your boyfriend. You do. Like I've had this too before, where you psychologically are like, why is he not like affectionate and committed to me?
Yeah.
And she's just going through that. And it's like hard to watch, but she's being obnoxious.
Well, also Danielle wants to be the chill girl so bad. And she's just not. She's not in any relationship, and her life chill is not her. And so it's just really unappealing to see someone try to be someone they're not.
And also, why are people lusting after this man? I'm sorry. Like, I did not find him.
He's such a dud.
Personality was like amazing. I could be like, oh, he's like a sexy guy.
Yeah.
He is also like creepy in the hot tub. Do you remember?
He's so creepy. And everyone's like, he's such a flirt. And I'm like, the flirting is just him making like high school sexual innuendo.
Literally. Or being like predatory.
Yes.
No, in between. Yeah.
No, it's so bad. He gives me like just the biggest ick. I don't know how people think he's hot.
Definition of the ick.
No, when I first saw him, I was like, oh. And then he opened his mouth and I was like, no.
You could tell he would play his guitar for you.
Yes. And there are moments where I feel bad for him
energy.
When he like was talking about being homeschooled and being lonely and all of that. And then again, he starts talking more. And I'm like, now you're grossing me out again.
I can't do it. He was like this on Below Deck too. Like
so is he on Below Deck? I'm like, who is this man?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, he's from Below Deck, but a different franchise than the girls that are on the show.
That man works.
He's out on the deck.
I can imagine like being in service.
He's a deckhand. Yeah, a deckhand. No, sorry. They're in service. Like they are stewards. And he's a deckhand. So that makes sense. A bosun or whatever. So he does like
he's like rope and shit.
Outdoor. Yeah.
Dude, that's shocking to me.
I could see him like work like
I could see him serving a drink.
I've met like a boatman like this before though. Like now I'm kind of like, okay.
It's all making.
No, he's very like, oh, I'll just like live off the earth and like.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Family Karma guy is also tough. Like Bravo has a tough time casting these men.
It's true.
100%. Yeah. Like him just getting like immediately friend zoned. And he's just so like, he's like every Friday go out on a date and stuff like that. I'm just like, you will be forever single. Like,
yeah. He is the friend zone. He is the definition of the friend zone.
Sad, but also when he was like hand hug or whatever, I was like, cut it out.
I know. It was so bad.
Enough.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Okay, let's talk about the Kardashians. I think like the thing that I like am dying to talk about is just how Lucas Gage and Chris Appleton literally filed for divorce the week like after / during their wedding episode aired.
What did you think of their wedding? It's
like it. I feel like it was like a farce. Like, which their family was there. Whenever the family's involved, I'm like, I feel like people when it's like a farce wouldn't bring their family members into it, but like it was all about the Kardashians. I feel like the opportunity just like came up and they were like, because Chris and now Lucas, I believe, like they look at the Kardashians with such like awe in their eyes that they just, I think they were like, this would be fucking cool, like to say we did this.
Chris,
not that any of it was like real per se.
He wished he was marrying Kim in that moment. Like his
100%.
So right. And the fact that their family was there, their family was freaking me out because they were all just like silently shuffling behind them the whole time.
So haunting.
This episode, I don't know if it was because I had a 10 milligram gummy or if it was like as creepy as it was.
No, it was. I was sober watching it and I couldn't.
I felt ill the whole time. It was so weird. The way that Chris was looking at Kim and then the way that Lucas was like looking at Chris, it was just so weird.
They're just star fuckers. Like, and like even with Shania Twain, they were more into that Shania was like performing rather than them having a moment together.
People
100%.
And I love Shania, obviously a fellow Canadian queen,
she's
but
queen.
Stop making that your wedding song. Stop.
Yeah, I know. It's so played out.
So played out. And then Kim being like, whoever is my next boyfriend, this is going to be our wedding song.
I know, but Kim is so basic, you know? Like, I bet Kim has listened to 3 songs in her entire life.
It's so true. And we love that about Kimberly, but it's it's just for Kim only from now on. Her tight dress and like her shuffling on stage.
It's so, and like the big fur coats and like leathers, like it just was so embarrassing.
It was all that they could shoot it on film and have a Vegas cool wedding and like the aesthetic for Instagram. Like, and you cannot have that be your priority.
No,
totally.
It was just, it was all about how do we get Kim involved in this?
Exactly. Yeah. But do you think that they broke up before and then just announced it like post episode?
Well, there was allegations that Lucas cheated.
Oh yeah,
did you see that?
Oh really? Oh no, I didn't see
that. Which I could see. Lucas is young, like, and they've been dating for 3 months before they got married.
I feel like he probably felt like they were in lust. They probably had some hot sex. They were like, we're celebrities. We want to like go. I think they got a high off of the whole thing, the attention.
Yeah.
I think Lucas probably felt like a little like intimidated and maybe like he had to say yes.
Well, also like, how can you be engaged to someone like Chris Appleton, whose life is Kim? Like he's always with Kim every single day at like 4 a.m. He's at Kim's house doing her hair. And if he's not with Kim, he's with J-Lo. So it's like, how can you actually date someone like that? You know?
Yeah, and like Lucas's star was also rising. So like he probably was like, well, this will give me like status and like
oh totally.
Yeah.
Also like I think,
get my name out there.
Yeah, like the age gap too, they're like 12 years apart. Like that's a certain thing, you know? Like
he has like a teenage kid.
Do what?
Who has a teenage kid?
Chris Appleton.
He has a teenage kid?
Yeah. Because
really?
I think he like came out later in life.
Pre these nude cheek fillers that Chris had, he really did it for me. And pre this episode.
Oh my God. I mean, he's like,
he has 2 kids. So
with who?
A woman, Katie Caden, who is another hairstylist.
Oh God, I bet, are they gorgeous children?
Oh, I'm sure.
She's like, no. She's like, well.
So I actually don't see pictures, but Billy is 20 and Kitty Blue is 18.
What?
How? Yeah, so he's either bi or he like came out
like 45.
I mean, that man is so hot. Yeah. Spread the seed.
Oh, he's so fucking hot.
Really, it's like, I mean, that kind of face. Yeah. You don't see that face often.
No,
I know. He's not my type, but
he's too pretty.
He's just like just so hot. Like
he has too many abs, but
Oh, I like when he has like brown hair kind of, and he just looks a little bit more like,
and his accent
normal.
Is so hot.
Yeah.
God, he's probably gotten so much action.
Oh, so much, especially with Kim's stuff. Yeah, it's just that episode was haunting, and that airplane light. Then they were all sitting there, and they asked for advice, and then Kim brings out her phone.
Also, it didn't show them kiss. It didn't show Chris and Lucas kiss, which I thought was weird. And I was like, why is Hulu not showing like a gay kiss?
Oh, interesting.
That is my Roman Empire of this month.
This is Tess's Roman Empire.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why wouldn't you guys? It literally, the camera.
TikTok about this.
I need to make a TikTok. The camera pans away when they kiss.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. That's really smart. Like they're under the Disney umbrella.
I know.
Say it.
So
all been thinking it.
Yeah, that's sus. Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting, because the other big thing that I've been thinking about is Tristan's soft launch, because ESPN is another Disney conglomerate.
Yes. Well, I know. That's what, when I saw ESPN, I was like, the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. She is in there being
on top of it.
Yeah.
No, seriously. So she just like got him this job, and it's all through. That's why he's probably in more episodes and stuff, because it's all this cross-pollination between their shows and networks. Yes. Like it's like, and you would never guess that. Like if I asked my dad or whatever, is the only person I know that watches ESPN, but it's like if I asked him like who owns that company, or like, do you know how Tristan got this job? He would have no idea. Like
Chris knows.
Talk about an ick.
No, when they showed a clip of him doing that, I always thought he was a hot man until that. And then I was like, oh my God.
I mean, I used to be like, oh, he's a monster, but he's very physically attractive. And then something 3-4 episodes ago. Nope.
What are your
thoughts
with him and the Courtney conversation?
I'm glad that someone's like saying it, because like fucking Kris Jenner isn't, like, and Kim just immediately forgot it. Like, remember how she was acting in the hospital room when she was giving birth to True, and now she's like, let's go on like,
now they're like getting
trips to jails and like or prisons or whatever,
and
together,
like getting drinks and going out to dinner together. It's like
so
alone.
The way that Chris is like, again, like getting him this job, like actively. And I know she's like, this is the father of my grandchildren, but at some point that means nothing.
When he is cheating on you, pregnant, twice.
And that's what I'm just like, when she's like, he has to stay in our house because of his roof. He rents his own house. He can rent his own house. It makes
100%.
They prioritize like keeping the family together over like protecting these women from like vile, misogynistic men.
It's something that makes me really mad every time they're like, because they've said before, like, I would like my kids to have the same father. And as someone who does not have the same father as their sister, it makes me so mad. And I'm truly like, it does not make you a family unit to like keep this toxic man.
Anyone in your family that's toxic, like,
totally.
Why do this to your daughters?
I wish that Courtney went harder though.
Same.
Totally. And like, also it's like Kylie and Kendall do not have the same dad.
That's perfect. That's such a great example.
That's a great point.
Like, that's what I don't get about it, because I'm like, you're basically saying that they're like not real sisters, or like an invalid family. Like that's what
Yeah, make a TikTok about
Okay. Okay, this is like my friends all the time. They're like, write that down for a TikTok.
Literally. This is like, wow.
It makes me so mad. It's so disgusting. And it's what Courtney said. And I hope that Chloe saw Courtney be like, I don't want my daughter to think that this behavior is okay. Because I do feel like it was kind of slight shade, whether it's intentional or not. But I'm glad P's afraid of Tristan.
He's the only one that has boundaries. And now, like, I do think Courtney does too now. Because I do think she's in this like other part of her life where she is seeing things a little bit more from the outside. And I do think that what's her husband's name?
Travis
has
like assisted her in some like healing.
Totally. Every time she does something separate from the family, I'm like, this is actually really good for her.
Same. I was anti-Courtney last season, and this season I'm like, live in your life.
Same. I'm like loving that she's pregnant. You just tell that she's happy. She's like,
can we talk about Rain being like, name the baby D's middle name Big Nuts. D's Big Nuts.
That child.
And she was she on her phone? She was just like, okay,
she's
Rain.
Like,
or like
I never listened to
something like that. Yeah, or like looking at a book or something. She's like, okay, Rain, honey.
You
like,
know who's a mini
Scott. We need to watch out for
a mini Scott 100%. But the way that she like, I'm like, that's like a 5-year-old saying that. I would have been like, how did you learn that?
We know.
I mean, they have too much freedom.
I wonder how Mason's doing, because Mason asked not to be filmed anymore.
Yeah, which again, like, I know, like, I think I love that they respected that and didn't force him and stuff like that, and that they're giving him the choice. But it also just shows that, like, when those kids grow up and realize
what has happened,
because he's like 13, 14, oftentimes they're choosing no.
Yeah,
like, so,
exactly.
You should look at your younger kids and like don't make them regret. Yeah,
totally. Oh my God.
Not regret, but resent you.
Definitely
for forcing them into this.
Exactly. It's so true.
Last Kardashian thing, but Kylie, she said in an interview this week.
Oh, when Jennifer Lawrence interviewed her?
I loved Jennifer Lawrence's love for the Kardashians because I feel like she represents all of us who are like, women can be smart and interesting and love the Kardashians.
100%. It was for Interview Magazine.
Yeah, Interview Magazine. So she said, Jordan and I, we always stayed in touch throughout the years, and we would meet up at my house and catch up and just talk through everything. We never fully cut each other off, and one day, naturally, we were like, we want to get sushi, and we don't want to hide anymore.
And then they went to Sushi Park.
Yes,
which strip mall sushi place. We've got to go.
What is this?
It's in West Hollywood. It's remember that tanning show at the LA reality tanning show?
Of course.
It's in the same strip.
Kiss?
Yeah, it's in the same strip mall as that Sushi Park. That's where Taylor and Selena just were.
Oh my God, let's go.
Yeah.
We gotta go. Let's take an edible and go.
Leonardo DiCaprio is there like once a week.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yes. Just Google Sushi Park restaurants. I think I might do a Patreon episode literally just on that.
I could close my eyes and get us there in my car right now. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like they're friends
again.
Like I'm confused.
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm just confused. Like they were always friends, but they like shit on her so publicly. Like
Jordan, I think, was writing their fame too.
She 100% was.
Yeah, it is disappointing so I think like she's not above it now to like step back into the light, but it is disappointing when you think about how much like shit Jordan got for it, even, and now how they are with Tristan. It's like, well, why wouldn't they be cool with Jordan at this point if they're so cool with Tristan?
Like living with fucking Tristan,
and he's the father of the children. True. Like,
did they just make out or did they have sex?
They said just made out.
Yeah, and they said that it wasn't even really like, they said she was sitting in his lap, and then they like, when they left, they like pecked or something like that.
Yes, it's a peck, which it's like, have you ever been drunk and like attracted someone and just pecked?
As an adult now?
After just sitting on their lap? Yeah, so no, it's crazy though. Well, Kylie, I thought it was interesting that she said, she was like, it was good for us because we were so codependent on each other, which Kylie with her friends, I mean, who am I to say?
I mean,
like she's been wild, like the codependent.
I mean, they're living together.
Yeah.
They're like,
she was in the guest house. Yeah. It's a lot for sure. But yeah, so interesting. I guess sometimes you do reconcile in private, and I guess that is like a real part of friendship. And then then they were hanging out. They went for sushi, and then they were seen again, I think, shopping. So that's interesting. I want to know more about kind of how that all went down.
I bet next season she'll be on.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like
a good prediction.
Chris is going to be like,
that's a really good prediction. Yeah. And that's like something I would actually be interested in watching.
Me too.
I'm so over all the storylines.
They're all
like the holograph thing. Like, Chris is my queen. I love her. She's my mother. I love her so much. But the holograph thing made me so mad because I could tell she invested in this company and it was just an advertisement. And it like,
what a stupid company.
Fools. One of my favorite parts of this whole season was seeing Cece though talk about the Kardashians.
Yes,
she is royalty.
Yes,
that was, I was like, more of that. And also, so they're making
more of, like the history.
They're making a Kris Jenner documentary. Check out our Kris Jenner episode. We would like to be featured.
We would like to be featured
as talking heads on the documentary.
Oh my God. Kris Jenner expert.
Yes, email everybody.
I was in the background. I'm like a small figure behind you.
Sorry, guys, we're workshopping this right now.
No, I love that.
Yeah, that was fascinating to me.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's interesting. Their scheduling stuff's interesting. Their business ventures are interesting. Not these like dumb fake storylines.
No.
Like,
I hate that.
Yeah,
same.
I definitely thought we were over that when we moved from Keeping Up to the Kardashians, and it's just
like, we want to see like be normal.
Yes, like we want to see actual real stuff. What do you actually do in your day?
What do you look like without all of the makeup?
Yeah.
Like stop getting glam for like the gym. Like we just want to see, like, I love when they just come out like,
yes, because like when they were going to Vegas and for the wedding, and then Kim's like, oh shit, I forgot to invite Chloe, and Chloe wouldn't go because she didn't have glam. That made me so mad.
What are you like missing out on in your life?
Yes.
Like
because you don't have glam.
Your appearance.
Totally.
You guys already have the filter on the video anyways. You're gonna look.
I was just gonna say that's the other part that I can't get over is the extreme filtering.
The filters, they're all on Ozempic.
Yeah.
Just like every single person in Hollywood. Like, what else do you like? You're fine.
You're fine.
Go to a show.
Yeah. Live your life.
It's just
totally
too much.
Yeah.
It's way too much. Okay, let's talk about celeb relationships that we can't stop thinking about. So there was a question on Reddit, and it also blew up on Twitter, but the question was, what's one celeb relationship that everyone moved on from that you can't forget? A lot of people were talking about Chris Evans and Jenny Slate, which like,
yeah,
I'm going to deep dive at some point that relationship because it sounds so interesting to me that I like completely forgot about.
Love that relationship.
It's the theater kid gets with like the hot quarterback, and you like
so hot,
and that's literally like why it's amazing, because you kind of wouldn't expect it. They're like opposites and like both so hot in like different ways.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love that one too.
Me too. And they were both just so complimentary of each other and stuff like that. That like, man, I know. I was like, oh, they're kind of maybe end game for me.
I know. That one's a great one.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling.
I'm just
no more Canadians.
No, you don't like.
No.
Oh, wait.
No, I'm obsessed with them.
What did they do?
No, I think about them every single day of my life.
Oh, they are.
Yes, they're both Canadians.
All good ones.
Man, the MTV Kiss, like
just about weird.
Or just like any picture of them, they were just like, too hot for their own good.
Literally,
like,
so passionate, such like intense. Apparently, they hated each other on set of The Notebook, which is like hot.
Yes, and then they like, fell in love. Their chemistry is unreal.
I know.
The deleted sex scenes in The Notebook. Did you ever watch those on the DVD?
No. Where do you find those?
I'll be right
back. So it was in middle school. I would flip over that DVD. It would have been rated, but they couldn't put them in because it would have been rated R.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Sex scenes.
Oh my god.
Oh damn.
So
like
hot.
in the old house? In the old house.
In the old house.
I will never forget. I can't think about it, honestly.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That is definitely mine.
Yeah, that is a really good one. I think like one that I've been thinking about recently, because like everyone would know mine is like Justin and Selena, but like people haven't really moved on from that, so I don't think that really counts.
Yeah.
And same with, I don't know, like other, like Taylor Swift, some of like her relationship, but like that I think about all the time. But Vanessa Hudgens and Austin Butler, I've been thinking about so much because she was with him and like petitioning for him to get the Elvis role.
When he went on, what was it, like Live with Kelly and Michael or whatever, and he was like, my friend said that I should do Elvis. Fuck you for saying
you
that.
Say my ex-girlfriend. You give
I don't. Was it even friend? I feel like he was like a peer.
Yeah,
said that or something.
Like someone I met on the street once said I should play Elvis.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
You guys were together for 10 fucking years, and there's that clip from one award show where she walks in front of him, and like they both pretend to not know each other, and I'm like,
what happened?
Like what happened?
What happened, I think, is that he got Elvis and he dumped her and started dating Kaya Gerber.
Yeah, the younger, hotter. Like,
it's so sad.
That is so sad.
Ugh.
It's so weird. That's like not. This sounds maybe a little bit misogynist, but like, why is Austin Butler dating Kaya Gerber, and why is Jacob Elordi dating Olivia Jade.
Well, we've said the same thing.
We have said the same thing. It's fucking weird, and we all know it.
Yeah, I don't understand that relationship at all. I completely agree. That relationship does not make sense to me.
Torry, when I went to see Taylor Swift for the second night and I was on the floor, I saw Austin and Kaya together in the tent. She seemed like she was having a good time on something.
Oh,
rolling in the deep.
I mean, I would love to be rolling at that show, but
same.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't afford to like miss anything.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I know it is a choice.
Sober,
or she was just drunk, but they were having a good time. He was in a hat. He was very like protecting her, very like sober acting, and she was like going for it.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. So maybe she's fun, or like I don't know. I
don't know.
I think that. I don't know. I don't know these people at all, but he's probably like, wow, Cindy Crawford's daughter.
I know she is just
Rand Gerber's daughter.
Did you see the movie she was in this summer? What was
Bottoms?
Bottoms.
Yeah, Bottoms. No, but I'm gonna watch it I think it actually just came out on streaming, so I'm not a movie theater girly, but
I love it. And she's actually like good in it because she just plays a popular, pretty.
We'll take it.
Yeah, I think that it took me a while. At first, I was like, oh my god, why'd they cast her? And then I was like, okay, she like leaned into it.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
She's a good,
I'll give her that.
She's a good sport.
I'll give her that. Yeah.
Cool.
I do have one more couple that it's not that I'm I wish they were together, but it always just shocks me is Reese Witherspoon and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
Video online.
Wait, what'd you say, Torry?
The same one.
No, was she in Sweet Home Alabama at the time? Like,
I forgot what film it was in, but I just remember the basketball court.
Yes,
they met on that movie no one saw about like the crime FBI thing.
That one always to me.
That's
such
burned into my
weird
head.
couple.
So my brother was working at a hotel when they were together, and they came in. And he got really mad that the paparazzi was there.
Classic.
And he screamed at Adrian was working at the front desk as a concierge, and he screamed at them. He's like, there's fucking kids involved, and I fucking asked you. And she was like just on the side being like, calm down, baby, calm down. That is like, I mean,
all the boots on the ground this episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love this picture of them, and she's in like a funky fedora.
Also, the drunk photos of them together at that concert.
Oh my god! Like if I could be a fucking fly on that wall, like
I feel like there's no worse match. Like I just feel like listen, she's a billionaire, but she'll always be Tennessee, and like that man is not Tennessee in the slightest.
I feel like he also kind of probably wanted to like control her maybe, and she's not one.
100%.
Like, she's small.
Yeah.
She can't be held down.
Yeah,
dying.
That's so true.
Dying.
Wild. I completely forgot about them.
Same brain.
That's fucking weird that Taylor Swift dated a same person as, and same with John Mayer and Jennifer Aniston. Like
Jessica Simpson.
Weird connection. Yeah, and Jessica Simpson. Weird connections.
Love to see a chart. Also, side note, I listened to Kristen Cavallari's podcast today, and she did a little Q&A of who she's been dating recently, and there was that blind item about her and John Mayer together, and she pretty much confirms it without saying who it is. She's like, yeah, I dated this musician who, you know, likes to be private, and she was talking about their dates, and I was like, he is gross.
Who hasn't he dated?
It just grosses me out. She was like, he like didn't want to go out anywhere in public, so he rented out 3 times a penthouse of a hotel in LA and would just get room service and then go swimming. She was like, it just was really. Do you know what hotel?
No, but and I can't say this on air, but I heard a Leo blind item about a girl who hooked up with him once, and it's so dark. But sorry, that's not fair to say on air, but I'll say off air. But
yeah. I'm like,
I'm so sorry, but I'm like, it's too dark to say.
Everyone's just like,
yeah.
I'm like,
okay. but it's but we'll talk off air.
There is some sinister energy with that like
what's with Hollywood
genre of men.
Oh my god, we haven't even like, and this isn't even on our list, but the Diddy of it all recently.
Oh my god, I know.
Wait, what?
I know.
You don't know?
Huh?
What? So Diddy, it's like. He was dating Cassie, the singer, you know, It's Me and You, that song.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's really dark stuff, trigger warning, that he was like with sex trafficking with her, but he also who did she hook up with? What was the other?
Like pimping her out.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi, and he blew up
his car.
Diddy blew up his car.
And so I am friends with some people who have worked with these people before, and I heard about this in January. They were talking about this story.
Oh, that's right.
And so he's going, I feel like he settled so fast. I feel like there's only going to be more things.
100%.
I just heard that something in California, like that they took off the statute of limitations for something. And so all of these like celebrities are shaking in their boots because it's basically like all these women can come forward with these men now because they took off the statute of limitations.
I saw that article today. I mean,
yeah. It is kind of like a second reckoning, I feel like, of like Me Too movement. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hard to take it there, but call them out.
Call them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Beyond the Blinds just did a big episode, like, and discussion about that. So if people want to know more, you can check that episode out. Okay, this is the part of the show where our guests are going to nominate a Pettyweight Champion of the Week, someone in the media who did something petty this week, and it was iconic. Who are you nominating this week?
We are nominating, I don't know if I'd say iconic, but we are nominating Northwest.
Yes.
The pettiest of the petty.
At the pre-Met ball specifically.
Yes. Oh my God. I loved it when she was like, Pete, this isn't a gas station. Like,
that part was funny. So when I first saw the TikToks, I was like, oh my God, she's funny. She's iconic. But then when I watched the episode, I was like, okay, you need to cut it out. So I saw a TikTok today of this woman, and I don't have her page pulled up, but she was essentially like, if she's saying that to her mom, to adults, to a designer, what is she saying to these kids in class? And that to me, I was like, oh,
it's freelance baddie.
Freelance baddie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll tag them.
Yeah, it was a really great video. And like, yes, there were clips of it again where I thought it was iconic. And then I was like, okay, it's too much.
He handled it so well when he was just like, is she going to be here the whole time? I would have been like, I hate you.
There was like some funny things. And like, I love when kids are,
honest.
Honest and like funny and developing their own sense of comedy and like stuff like that for sure. And like observations. But you're totally right. There was a point that I was like, okay, this is getting mean.
Yes.
Kind of, I don't know if entitled's the right word, but like just, if you feel super comfortable saying this
on camera in front of this like iconic designer.
Well, that's the thing that she also needs to learn, like your opinion, it's your opinion and it's not the truth all the time. And so sometimes it's not always needed.
That's what I wish that Kim would have told her. Yeah. Not like, this is how you say it. Sometimes like there's a place for an opinion at all.
Yes.
And I don't think it's her fault in particular. I think it's the way that she's been raised that like, that Kim is just like so like free. Like, I don't know. I think she says she's a strict mom, but I haven't seen that.
I mean, she is talented.
But her artwork is
totally. Her artwork.
Out of control. It's crazy.
100%.
But there was no one pettier.
She tells Kendall that Kim doesn't like her look. Like, what?
Now that I appreciated.
We're not Kendall Jenner fans over here, so
I know. That was really funny.
Someone needs to tell her.
And that was definitely like kid stuff. Like that happens all the time. We're like, well, my mom said that she didn't like it, but
that's when Kim was like, if I'm talking shit about someone, I'm like, the way that you speak to this 9-year-old girl is like,
let her be a 9-year-old girl.
Shocking.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, that the way that she even frames that is
it was all very strange. How she was like, you just don't know pearls. Which, like, did I disagree with a lot of what North had to say? No.
When she's like, it looked like oceany or whatever. Like, like you look like a mermaid.
And she said that they like restrung them that night. Like, how much time that must have taken? Like, took. But it was just. It was petty.
Yeah.
It was petty.
It was so petty. Yeah. Oh my God. That's so funny. That's a really good nomination. Okay. Finally, let's wrap up with This Week in Petty, where you're both going to share.
We're giggling.
I cannot wait. This is
I don't know what Claire's going to say.
I don't know.
Okay, Claire. Okay. Where our guests are going to share a story about something that happened to them in their real life that they're petty about. What are you petty about this week?
Now I'm just remembering all the ones we wanted to say 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
But we were scared that.
That's so true that we could say now, probably. I like actively, and this is so boring, but I actively avoided family members during the holidays, and even just rooms, like just in rooms, that's like the most general sense that
that is relatable.
Mm-hmm. It's so relatable. Yeah. It's like, I feel like it's that like old school kind of boomer mentality that it's like you still have to invite everyone.
Yeah.
And then you just have to navigate the rooms, where I feel like now, I was just talking to my sister about that. It's like you can just not invite those people.
Yeah. Boundaries are beautiful.
Boundaries are gorgeous.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. And like you can say why.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, I need space.
Maybe we can learn from Northwest.
Maybe we can.
Maybe she is our leader. Could I say something that I do in my life that's petty, maybe?
Yeah.
When
absolutely.
people ask for carpool rides, like if we're going on a destination, like I've gone on work trips before and they've asked like, hey, if someone's actually directly asked me, hey, can they carpool with you? And I've said no. I will not carpool with people unless they are my best friends or my family. That is my time. That is my time that I listen to music. That is my time I listen to podcasts. And I don't want to fill that 2 hours up with small talk.
I was going to say, what was the length of the carpool
like
request?
2 hours. One was to like a Palm Springs trip and one was a San Diego trip, and I won't do it. And for one, like usually I just won't volunteer, but one time someone directly asked me and I said no.
I love that.
I'm just like, I don't want to do it.
I have something similar with like car stuff. Like I picked up my friend yesterday from the airport at LAX, and it was day after Thanksgiving.
You're so brave.
And I made a lot of passive, and this is like my pettiness. Like, it's like, if you're going to say yes to doing something, just do it. The amount of passive aggressive comments I said picking him up and in the car, I was like, why, Tess, why are you doing this? You already said yes. And I like made him feel bad that I had like picked him up, and it was tough.
There are times, I had this over Thanksgiving break, where I was like, I'm going to be a bitch today and no one can stop me.
Yes, yeah. I know. No, I
love that.
I so get that. I so get that. But yeah, I know. Why do I do that sometimes too? I'm like, well, like I think it was like with my boss or something like that. I did something that she asked me to do that I didn't want to do or something like that, and I was like, why am I adding in 10 comments about?
You just have to be like, I
did
this
that
last
today.
Point.
Sometimes you can't help yourself.
What's your sign, Torry?
Oh yeah,
Virgo.
Oh, me too. When's your birthday?
August 81st.
Oh my gosh, I'm August 23rd.
Oh, nice.
That's a Taurus, so we're all Earth signs.
Yes.
Oh, that explains it all.
That is,
yeah.
Nothing else needs to be said, really. Yeah.
Yeah, that really does explain a lot. About carpooling, I think that's so reasonable. You know, when you like get to go on a work trip and you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited that like the destination's cool and like all of this, like, you know, you're gonna have like comp all your meals and stuff like that, and then someone's like, oh, like, can I like come with you? And you're like,
no,
this has ruined it.
Like, I'm willing to pay for my own gas. I'm good.
Same.
This is my time. I'm about to spend all weekend with you guys. I need my time.
Yeah.
We love the boundaries.
Yeah.
And then you just end up talking about work stuff too.
Yeah,
like,
this is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, 100%. Yeah. I'm so bad about that. I don't know. I just also can't engage in that like small talky stuff. Like,
it's tough.
It's really, really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So petty about carpools, petty about avoiding people on holidays, petty about picking people up from the airport.
Yeah. Yeah.
All fucking tis the season. Yeah, literally tis the season. Yeah. It's that time of year where all this stuff just like comes to the surface, and your tolerance for the BS just
cry a little bit
down,
more.
Down.
Exactly.
Your breakdowns a bit more.
So I'm heading to therapy right after this. A glass and a half deep of red wine. She's gonna be like, "Are you good?
Don't worry about it."
Like, no.
I know. Have you ever gone to therapy before after a couple glasses of wine?
I haven't. I don't think.
Maybe I'll let you know how it goes.
Maybe I should start.
Yeah.
No, that's problematic. I feel like I should go sober.
Inspiring people all over the country.
Of course. Protect your mental health.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, where can the listeners find you two and anything else you want to plug?
You can find us at Right Answers Mostly on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast. We have a new episode every Monday. You can go to our website, rightanswersmostly.com for our, what's it called? Linktree. That has merch and updates, and our Patreon is on there. So just check out all of our stuff.
Yes. And
love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Find you
at RTBP Podcast. Hopefully they already follow.
That's right. I don't know. You better start following. You guys better give her a great review.
Literally, all their if Grammys are listening right now, you guys know what to do.
Yeah, leave a review.
Thank you. And there you have it. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you to Claire and Tess for joining me on today's episode. Over on Patreon, we have some very fun content coming out. Last week, I just did an episode on my favorite podcast scandal, where I covered the demise of frenemies, violating community guidelines, Call Her Daddy, and Archwell Audio, as well as a recent lawsuit from co-hosts, which is Aki Taki, of Sounds Like a Cult. It was a really good episode, got really great feedback on that one. And then this morning, I just recorded a ranking fandom names part 2 with Kirsten from Mess Magnets and Hot Dummies on Islands, and Cam from What I Will Say and Stay at Home Girlfriends. That will be coming out on Thursday. So it was super fun. It was chaotic. It was a little manic, I will say that, but it was really, really fun. I would like to shout out 2 patrons from this week, Megan K and Sam G. Thank you so much for being official Petty Betties. And thank you so much for appreciating and supporting and recognizing my work. It does not go unrecognized by me. So thank you so much, Megan K and Sam G. Mwah. Love you both so much. On a personal update, I am heading to Nashville to hang out with the Podcast Collective girlies, or at least half of them, on Wednesday. If you have any Nashville recs, hit me up. And I'm sure I'll be posting lots of content from that weekend. I also started a Bookstagram, so you can follow me on Instagram at Ready to Be Romanced. I am posting romance novel recs and TikToks and just what I'm reading and all of that. And it's super, super fun. And like I said in the episode, if you don't already, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RTPP Podcast. I hope you are safe and healthy out there. As always, I'm your host, Torry, and I'm ready to be petty. See you soon. Bye.